All right, here we go. So, some RV manufacturers and some RV dealerships are going to absolutely love this video. Why? Because I'm going to reveal my top 5 best dual axle travel trailers that are fiberglass sided for year model 2026. You may refer to them as smooth sided travel trailers, or at least some of you might. Welcome to HB RV Lifestyle. I'm John Livingston, aka the Honey Badger, here to give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business. And if you're wondering, how the heck can you make a list and who the heck are you? Well, look, I've been in the RV industry for more than 15 years, mainly at the dealership level. I've done just about every job at a dealership, from technician to parts person to porter, general manager, sales manager, finance manager. A job you could think of at an RV dealership, I've done. Now, I'm going to start with number 5. Number 5 is Coachmen Freedom Express. Now, I have a little bit of a bias here. Okay. Now, if you remember correctly, I think 2 years ago, I had them on the worst list. From 2016 to 2019, I sold them, and it just seemed like they were getting better and better every single year. The quality was good. The floor plans were good. They were doing such an amazing job. And then as soon as the management team started changing, it just went downhill. Okay. Let me put it this way. The GM of the plant ended up the president of Coachmen. One of the sales managers ended up overrunning Shasta. So it just kind of went like they didn't know what to do with it. Okay. That's just an honest take. Now it's made a comeback. If you haven't seen the new Freedom Expresses, I highly recommend you see them before you buy anything else, including a Grand Design, including a Brinkley. They are a fabulous product, lightweight, half-ton towable. Check them out. Now, they're not the best, though, okay? And the separation between 5 and 1, in my opinion, is pretty large. But we go to number 4. Number 4 is Intech RV. Now, Intech RV is Airstream's competitor, but it's fiberglass sided. So unlike Airstream, who's got the aluminum shell and is on a different list, Intech RV is probably the best overall constructed unit on this list. What makes them lower on the list is the price point, and they have no slides or pop-outs, as you might refer to them. And there's limited storage in each one of those units. It isn't like it's full of cabinets. One thing I always give Brinkley for, even though Brinkley is not on this list, and I'll explain that in a minute, even though Brinkley is not on this list, one of the things that Brinkley does really well and has always done well is they don't waste any space in the coach, and you always feel like there's storage where there should be storage. Okay, one of the most positive things I could ever say about Brinkley. Okay, and Intech doesn't quite have that, but they are an extremely well-built travel trailer, and they're very lightweight, high quality. But again, the price point and no slides or pop-outs, that's what prevents them from getting lower. Now, I want to address something real quick, because I try to keep this under 10 minutes. First off, there are a couple of you out there that have decided that my channel is no longer worthy of good information, that it's done nothing but go downhill for the last year. Okay. Well, that kind of coincides with what happened with Grand Design a couple of years ago. If you look at Frame Failure, Frame Flex, a lot of people felt the same way that were Grand Design owners or people that were trolling me that were a part of the Grand Design family. Okay. So this year, I've been very critical of Brinkley because of all the leak problems that they've had. And they can deny it all they want, that they don't have any leak problems. And you can see that a lot of the videos that their owners have posted have been taken down. But I'm still daily getting emails, direct messages, text messages, and phone calls from people that bought a Brinkley, fifth wheel, travel trailer, toy hauler, etc., that tell me they're having leak issues. It hasn't changed. But I'm not going to put them on the worst list, and they're not on the best list, because to me, their travel trailer, because there's way more brands of travel trailer than there is fifth wheel, their travel trailers fit somewhere in the middle. It doesn't fit on the worst and it doesn't fit on the best. So if you have a problem with that, talk to the people that actually reach out to me and tell me they're having severe leak problems with their Brinkley. Okay, that brings me to number 3. Number 3 is Keystone Cougar. Keystone Cougar, if you go look at the worst list has every other Keystone fiberglass product except for Cougar. And the reason why is Keystone Cougar is still the flagship. I own a Cougar fifth wheel. I've seen a ton of Cougar travel trailers. They just continue every year to be consistent, high quality, good quality travel trailer. Getting a little out of pocket about, pricing and affordability, but still, I mean, bread and butter of what Keystone RV does between Montana and Cougar, the Cougar travel trailer, still a great flagship product. Number 2 on the list is Jayco Eagle. Now, I had a tough time with this, okay? And there's going to be some people that are Grand Design owners that will be mad at me for saying this. But I had a tough time with number 2 because it was either number 2 or number 7. Because when I made out my list, number 2 and number 7 were the hardest to do. And there was 2 names, Jayco Eagle and Grand Design Solitude. And I had to pick Jayco Eagle over Solitude. And it's the smallest little things. You have to go look at it and nitpick the 2 products. And I'm going to let you do that on your own, because it's just the smallest little things that separate them. And the biggest thing with me with Grand Design is we still don't know what's going on with the slide leak problems. And that's the reason why I eventually left them off the list, is because even though, guys, that Imagine and Solitude are 2 different products, we still haven't gotten to a point where we don't know where the slide leak problems are coming from and why it's there. And you can look into that yourself if you want to go on Reddit or Quora or any of these little websites that people don't remove their comments on. Make sure you check that out. But yeah, I mean, and realistically, what left Solitude off was just the unknown about the slide leak problems. There isn't enough information. Now, again, the list is fluid. It could change. But that brings me to number 1. We have a new number 1 this year, and that is Forest River Rockwood / Forest River Flagstaff. Guys, what an improvement. No carpet in the trailer again. Finally, they went to no carpet. Graphics look good. They have a couple of floor plans that are 101-inch body with no slide. They're starting to listen to their consumer a little bit better. It's always been a good product. It's always been in my top 5. But I think this year, 2026, it takes the next step. And I believe and beyond. Now, again, as I've said, the list is fluid. So if Rockwood Flagstaff starts screwing up and not taking care of business, we're going to have to look at it again. Now, there's one more thing I want to say before I shove off. You're probably wondering what happened to Alliance. Guys, Alliance RV fell off the map on me. I love those guys. I really do. And I want everybody to know that. I love those guys. And I have to leave them off the list. So that's where the whole Brinkley, he hates Brinkley, he did something personally. Dude, I put Alliance on my top 5 worst list a couple of times so far this year on a couple of products. And they are some of my favorite builders of RVs. I'm a big fan of the guys that own it. Huge fan. So it just goes to show you this channel is neutral. Okay? I give you the good, the bad, the ugly, the great. We're always going to stay neutral here. And if you have a problem with my neutrality, hey, Josh the RV nerd is down the street and Liz Amazing is down on the other end too. So until next time, remember, RV stands for toolkit and sense of humor.